All right, everybody, welcome back to the #1 television program in the history of the entire universe. I am Brian Lee Durfee, author of The Forgetting Moon, The Blackest Heart, and The Lonesome Crown. All three books published by Simon & Schuster's Saga Press. Today I'm going to be reviewing Tripwire by Lee Child. This is book number 3 in the Jack Reacher saga of adventures and manliness and testosterone and every, these are male fantasy books. This is what men want to read. Jack Reacher. And I've read them all. I'm rereading them now for the channel. I started reading these, gosh, a long time ago. This book came out in 1999. That's about when I started reading the Jack Reacher books. I started collecting them pretty early. In fact, I've got the entire collection over here. Down here, we'll go through that's my entire collection down there. I don't know how many Reacher books Lee Child has written so far. I stopped collecting them once he started collaborating with other people in the writing. So anyway, I think I've got about 22 or 23, maybe 27. I don't know, whatever. It is what it is. Let's talk about the cover first, because I love graphic design and cover illustration. This one's, it's all right. One thing that I like is, we'll go back to the collection. It's the spines that are crazy. Somehow this publisher got all the spines to match up, as you can see here. They all have kind of the same look. Oh, hey, say hi, cat. The cat decided that we were filming her. That's Pretty Miss Kitty. Also a Jack Reacher fan. Okay, enough nonsense. Who is Jack Reacher? I already told you. He's like, every dude wants to be Jack Reacher. I mean, he's a drifter. He's not tied down to anything. He's kind of like those old Clint Eastwood movies. The man with no name just drifts into town like a gunslinger, takes names, kicks ass, and then leaves. And of course, has sex with some hot chicks and a whole lot of stuff like that. He's muscly. Jack Reacher is this 6'4", 250 some odd pound, muscle bound, massive, just kick-ass ex-military policeman. If you've seen the show, the Tom Cruise movies were fun, but Tom Cruise didn't look like Jack Reacher. Now, the Jack Reacher TV show, the dude looks like Jack Reacher. That dude's a big dude. And Jack Reacher is the cleverest guy in every situation he's in, the toughest guy in every situation he's in. And that's just what every dude wants to be. That's why these books are so popular. These are male fantasy books. These are like, this is what dudes want out of their life. They all want to be Jack Reacher. So anyway, in the first couple books, which I've read and reviewed for the channel, Jack Reacher, he's a tough guy, drifts into town, settles some problems, and then moves on. Beats some people up, kicks some people's asses, has more witty jokes than they do. All of the above. This one starts in Key West. Jack Reacher has just kind of decided to chill in Key West for a little bit. He actually works as a bouncer at a strip club now. He's part-time digging swimming pools all day. No, his full-time job is digging swimming pools all day with a shovel. That's a lot of work. If you've never dug a hole, you don't want to dig a swimming pool. You don't even want to dig a grave. That's tough. About the only hole I want to dig is deep enough to plant a carrot. But anyway, he's digging swimming pools, which that helps him keep his big muscular physique. Just kind of minding his own business in the strip club. I enjoy the scenes in the strip club, not because of strippers and stuff, but his interaction with a particular stripper that he's friends with. Interesting and fun. I really kind of wanted to see where that whole relationship went. But we leave that scene pretty early on because two guys come into the club, the strip club, looking for Jack Reacher. Now, Jack Reacher is a drifter. He's a loner. He's off the grid. Nobody should be able to find him. But yet these two guys have tracked him down. In fact, another guy has tracked him down too. Previously, another dude tracked him down. So now there's three guys that have tracked him down. Well, the one guy that tracked him down is killed by the other two guys that tracked him down. And now Reacher is like, something's up. And he just kind of follows the leads of all this stuff kind of to New York City. And he kind of leaves the strip club behind, the pool digging gig behind in Key West. And I kind of liked that part of the story. I was kind of sad to see those characters go. But off he goes to New York City. There's another character named Chester Stone in New York who's rich. He's kind of embezzling. He works in the World Trade Center, which is crazy. This is from 1999. And there are a lot of statistics. This is a crazy thing about this book that I was realizing on my reread is there are a lot of statistics about the World Trade Center. Like how many people it holds, like 120,000 people work there on any given busy day, you know, back when the Twin Towers were up. And, you know, even I myself, when I was a carpet cleaner back in New York, went into those Twin Towers a few times to clean carpets. And, you know, it just took me back to those days when the towers still stood, and this guy works in the towers, this Chester Stone, and he goes through and he talks a lot about how they're constructed, how they were built. It's just really freaky to see all of these stats about the World Trade Center, knowing, you know, what happened, because this came out in 99, knowing what happened just a couple of years later. Anyway, so there's another character named Hook Hobby. He's a burnt, deformed, sort of Vietnam. He's got a hook for a hand. That's why he's named Hook Hobby. He's got a hook for a hand. He's a Vietnam vet, but he was not really a soldier per se in Vietnam. I mean, he took a lot of damage. That's why he's burnt and he has a hook for a hand. But he was kind of like the guy in Vietnam that could get things done. Sort of like when you're watching Shawshank Redemption and, you know, the character played by Morgan Freeman, Red, he was just the dude that could get things for you. That's kind of the way Hook Hobby was in Vietnam. He was just kind of the guy that could get things for you. If you were a soldier and you needed this, that, or the other, somehow he could conjure it up. Which led him to become a very wise and savvy con man for the rest of his life. And so then we've got this situation where who's the villain? Is it Chester Stone? Is it Hook Hobby? Reacher, when he gets to New York, he kind of comes in contact with some old friends and family. There's some shady real estate dealings going on. So we learn the family history of Reacher. One of the things about this book, which the first two books did not really talk about a lot. I mean, I know the first book talked about Reacher's brother, but this one gets more into the family history, even the origin of Jack Reacher's name. And Jack Reacher does show in this book, unlike the first couple books, he does show a lot of semi-emotional. I don't have to say a lot, like a pinprick of emotional vulnerability. But he also shows some physical vulnerability too in this. I mean, he takes some injuries throughout, and he's not the invincible tough guy, you know. Well, he is the invincible tough guy. But this book makes you believe that maybe he can take an injury or two. He can take an arrow to the knee once in a while and walk it off. But anyway, beyond that, this is a good story. It fits right into the Jack Reacher thing. I think it detours a little bit off the drifter. Jack Reacher is a drifter path because he kind of goes back home and to talk to people that he kind of knows, whereas most books, nobody knows him. He just drifts into a town where nobody knows him, and then he just, burns the fucking place to the ground, really. Anyway, so Tripwire, I liked it. I give this like a 8.5 out of 10. Just a great thriller, as are all the Jack Reacher books.